Hello everyone, so as you can probably tell from my background and the natural lighting I have, I'm in a new place, I have a new setup. So I haven't uploaded a video in about a month. Part of that is because of the fact that I was moving, part of that is just because I didn't know what to film, so I didn't film anything. But as I was moving all of my manga over to my new place, I realized that one, I have way too much manga. It was not fun to move all this manga, so I decided just spontaneously to get rid of a bunch of volumes of manga, a bunch of different series. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Obviously, I don't have the volumes with me to show you because that would just kind of get rid of the point I was trying to make. I was trying to get rid of the manga, not bring them with me, so I don't have them with me to show you. But I do still want to talk about them, tell you why I'm getting rid of them. Most of them I enjoyed, most of them I've read, and I just didn't feel like I needed to bring them with me, and I felt like they wouldn't fit on my shelves, so I would have to put them in storage. And for me personally, if I have to put a manga in storage, I probably don't want to keep it anyway because my manga I like to keep on display. So if I have to keep it in storage, there's really no reason for me to keep it in the first place. So I just unhauled a bunch of manga. So let's talk about those. The first one I unhauled was volumes 1 through 12, the complete series of Master Keaton. This is by Naoki Urasawa. I was trying to read this month. I had read a couple volumes late last year and I thought it was okay. But I tried to read a couple more volumes this month, which I kind of succeeded in, but then volume 6 or 7, I think it was 7, I read about half of it and I got extremely bored and I kept trying to read it, and it took me 2 weeks to realize that if it is taking me this much time and effort to read a series, I don't need to read it and I should just get rid of it. I was considering keeping it just because of my Naoki Urasawa collection, just to have all those different series, but I don't need to do that either. I'm trying to stop being such a completionist and just get rid of series that I don't like. Next, I want to talk about 3 different series. One of them I'm still on the fence about, but the other 2 I'm definitely getting rid of, not because I don't like them, but I've just realized I would rather read them digitally and I don't need them on my shelves. I can read them on the Shonen Jump app, and those ones are Mao, volumes 1 through 11, I think I had, and Kaiju number 8, volumes 1 through 6 or 7 or 8. I think it's 1 through 8 is what I had. I can't remember off the top of my head. So those 2 I'm definitely getting rid of. I do enjoy those series. I haven't read like the last 4 volumes of Mao, but I was really enjoying the series. But again, I can just read it on the Shonen Jump app. And there's also the case of Kaiju number 8, which I have not read in about a year, but I don't have any problem reading that on the Shonen Jump app either. The last series in this kind of section is Sakamoto Days. This one I am very much on the fence about. I, again, can read that on the Shonen Jump app, but I do like this series quite a bit more than the other 2 I mentioned, and I really like flipping through the pages, and I really love the covers of these manga. So this one I'm still on the fence about. I have access to this manga. I haven't actually sold any of these manga yet. And I know there's some discussion of people talking about the new Viz Media Shonen Jump price for the physical volumes that will be happening later this year. This wasn't really a factor with me deciding what series to keep collecting. I was going to get rid of these series before I saw the new price, but it does kind of solidify my decision to get rid of these series. Again, Sakamoto Days, I'm still not sure. I really love these covers basically, and this is a series I think I could reread in the future, so that one I'm on the fence about, but the other 2 I'm definitely getting rid of. Next, I have one that I genuinely did not like, and I put up a poll recently on my Instagram having people vote on which series I should read next since I completed my TBR in May, and I put up Sensei's Pious Lie, some other series that I can't remember, and then I put up Dead Dead Demons Did a Destruction. And that one won, and I read it, and for context, I have read all of Goodnight Poon Poon, hated it, and I've read Solanin, and I thought it was just fine, and I had heard that this series was different than those others 2, so even though I have had a very bad track record with Inio Asano manga, I thought I would try this one out, but I didn't care for it either. I do not like Inio Asano's view of the world, if that makes sense. I read a lot of dark series, but for some reason, the way that Inio Asano reflects the world and how characters view the world, stuff like that, it's just so negative all the time, and there's no happiness anywhere to be seen. And that was extremely present in Goodnight Poon Poon. There was a little bit more happiness in Dead Dead Demons, but I still don't like it. I don't like the way he draws or writes young adult characters or teenage characters. I don't care for that at all. So I read 3 volumes of Dead Dead Demon. I apologize to anyone who likes this. No, I don't apologize. If you like this, that's great for you. I don't care for it at all. So I went ahead and unhauled it, even though I recently completed collecting the series. I don't need to read any more of it. Even though I had the entire series, I don't want to. And lastly, I have 2 series that I wasn't planning on unhauling, but once I had started putting books on these shelves, I realized I was really running low on space, and I don't want to have to build more shelves elsewhere in order to hold the manga. So I went ahead and decided to unhaul these series. One of those is Itsu Arabito. This is volumes 1 through 23. I had the complete series. This is a very fun fantasy shonen manga, nothing spectacular, and I was looking through my ratings of it on Goodreads. I remember it more fondly in my head than I rated it on Goodreads. So most of the volumes were 3 stars. So a 3-star read, while good, is not going to be like particularly memorable or a favorite. So I went ahead and decided to unhaul that manga to make space on my shelves. And the last one is pretty popular. In fact, it's very popular, and I recently read it and I did enjoy it. However, my local library, I believe, has every single volume available digitally. They might have it physically as well, I haven't looked, but I know for sure they have pretty much every volume digitally, and it is volumes 1 through 10 of Blade of the Immortal in the big omnibus edition, so I had the complete series of that as well. Again, this is a series I definitely enjoyed, but when deciding how much space I had left, I didn't feel like I could make space for this series. I couldn't justify it, especially because if I do end up wanting to reread that series, I can just read it from my local library. I didn't feel the need to own that and have it reflected in my collection, if that makes sense. So yeah, those are all the manga that I decided to unhaul in order to move all my manga over here. Sorry once again for that spontaneous break I went on. I do have more video plans now. I probably won't do a monthly wrap up for May. I enjoyed most of the things I read in May. If you want to ask me questions about it, go ahead and jump on over to Instagram, or you can leave comments down below. I'll answer those. But the only 2 things I didn't enjoy reading in May, I already talked about, either in my try a volume video that I did at the beginning of the month, or here just now, which was Master Keaton and Dead Demons. So yeah, if you have any thoughts about the manga I talked about in this video, please leave those comments down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!